Hey, what's up my ninjas? Shinobi here with another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls video for ya. In the background I got some gameplay going on. I am progressing my Witch Doctor in the 2-week Gear Up Challenge, and it's been going pretty well right now. If you want to keep updated on how it's going with screenshots that I take every day, there is a link in the description below to the Facebook that I made for the Ninja Army, and you can actually see the progression, and you can also come by the live stream every day where I am going to be showing you the progression and what I'm doing to gear up and change specs around and all kinds of things like that. It's just a learning process, not only for me, but also for the viewers, and it's been going really well so far. I've been making a lot of progression with it. Today, I want to talk about in this Let's Talk Diablo. I haven't made one of these in a little while, and if you're not familiar with these, the Let's Talk Diablo, it's essentially I come up with some topics on hand. We talk about them, in the video, and also down in the description down below in the comments. You guys can leave your comments. I love going through and reading all of them, especially in these videos. I love making these videos because I really get to see what the players feel about the game, the honest opinions about the players in the game, and it's really surprising and eye-opening in some situations to see what some people have to say. So definitely really awesome. So you can leave your comments down below. I also put a link in the description as well, another link, where I show you a straw poll. Currently, the people from my Facebook and from my live stream are voting on 4 different choices on how they feel about Reaper of Souls right now. Do they feel good about it? Do they feel like they just can't wait till the ladders comes out? Do they feel like they're getting bored of the game? Things like that. And with that said, today the topic is going to be the current state of Reaper of Souls and the future of Reaper of Souls. As you guys know, Reaper of Souls has been out live now for just over 1 month. When the game was first being announced and it went into the beta, the game was very hyped up, and that was really awesome. When it came out, it sold quite a bit of copies, which was really cool, and a lot of people seem like they're getting back into Diablo 3 with the new expansion Reaper of Souls, and that has been really, really awesome to see a lot of my older viewers come back and be able to interact with them again, and all those kinds of things. It's good to have you guys back. With that said, though, I want to talk about a couple pieces of news and also some of my own opinions about the current state of the game. So this may be a little bit of a longer video because we got a lot of information to go over here, a lot of changes, a lot of things we got to talk about. So let's first go ahead and talk about a change that's going to be happening very soon in, I believe it's patch 2.0.5. And in that patch, we are going to be seeing the Herodic Caches being buffed. Now, they're going to be buffed in multiple ways. In one way, the items that already drop from it, like the Ring of Royal Grandeur, the Worship Gloves, things like that, when you're doing those bounties and getting those bounty bags and trying to get those legendaries, the drop chance for those is going to be increased. So I think that's pretty cool. I think they need to be doing that. And then also, the Torment-only legendaries, like the set pieces, the class-specific set pieces that can only drop in Torment or above, will also drop in the Herodic Caches too. So for players that are trying to really farm that last piece of set gear for their character, this gives them another option. Now, I don't know, without some testing, if this is going to be more viable than doing rifts. They did say that the rifts should be the most efficient way to farm items in the game, but because there's such limited drops in the Herodic Caches, maybe that'll be even better than farming in rifts. So we'll see how it goes there. With some testing, we'll see how it is. But, it gives you more options and more things to do. The developers also talked about recently giving us a little bit of a sneak peek of the ladders and of the seasonal stuff, the tiered rifts, and all that kind of stuff. So I have the information right here, and I'll go through and read it for you and give you some of my opinions. So essentially how it's going to go is you're going to have a timer in the rifts, and you have to kill a certain amount of monsters and progress the bar a certain amount, and once you do that, and you do it before the timer ends, you're going to be rewarded by going to a harder rift, and you keep progressing through that, and it gets harder and harder and harder, and you keep progressing. Now, a lot of players say, okay, this sounds cool, the ladder thing sounds cool, but what's in it for me? I mean, I don't really care if I get high ranked or something like that. Like some people out there will say that kind of thing. I personally love the whole ranking idea, but you know, some players, they feel like they need to get more out of it. So what they're going to be doing is the seasons. In the seasons, you will have your leaderboards and your legendary. There'll be leaderboards and legendary items that will only drop within those seasons. So, for instance, if you're doing a season, you'll get some special legendaries that you couldn't get otherwise, and those will go onto your character. Now, when the season ends, you're going to, you know, go back. Those items will be going back to your normal character. So, by Blizzard telling us this, you know, I kind of just did a little bit of, you know, theory myself to see, you know, how it's going to go, because people have been really confused on how it's going to work out. You know, for instance, are we going to you know, have to make new characters on a seasonal thing? Like, for instance, if you want to roll a hardcore character, you have to make a new character, right? And I thought that what it would do is be a separate server and it'd just be a seasonal server that you could, you know, it gets reset every couple months and things like that. But the way that they're going to do it, from how I see it here, is that you're going to be able to have your normal characters like you do right now, and when the season opens up, you'll be able to transfer over or copy those characters to the seasonal thing, and then from there, after the season's done, then your stuff goes back to the way it was before. I don't know if 100% if that's how it's going to be, but from what it looks like here, that could be a good possibility. So it definitely, you know, gives us some idea on how these things are going to go in the future. Now, you know, you're going to have some vanity items too, and there's obviously going to be rewards for people that do the best in these challenges, for people that get the highest in these ladders. And what I'm really curious on how the ladders are going to work, because we don't really have a lot of information about the ladders. I mean, yeah, sure, you say the challenges, you know, we're going to have rankings within that. Is that going to be the only kind of ranking, though, in ladders? Is it just going to be, you know, by, you know, how good you do in rifts, or is it also going to be based off of, you know, the you know, Paragon levels that you reach while you're in the seasonal thing, or the items that you acquire and show that you can really, you know, gear up better than other people can, and you really know how to work your character, or whether you're judged in effective DPS or something like that, kind of like on Diablo Progress, or is it merely just going to be a ranking within the tiered rifts, and how well you do in the rifts, and your best times that you get, and all those kinds of things. And on that note as well too, I've also been really curious to find out, you know, because we need a lot more information here, and I'm sure a lot more information will come in the future. I've also been really curious to find out on exactly, you know, what kind of advantages and disadvantages is it going to be for playing solo or playing in a group? Is the rift going to be not as difficult if you play by yourself or if you play in a group? Because as of right now, you know, as the monsters scale in health, playing in a group of 4 would be by far the best way to go. Not only would you get benefits from other players, like giving you buffs, and for instance, the Demon Hunter giving you, you know, the wolf buff, or getting, you know, Big Bad Voodoo with Slam Dance from the Witch Doctor, and these things that really push your characters to excel a lot better than someone doing this solo. What if you don't like to play in groups? What if you want to play by yourself? Is there going to be ways to make sure that everybody that plays on the seasonal thing is going to be happy, or is it just going to be the 4 best geared players are going to do the best? So, you know, it's really going to be interesting to see how it is. I'd love to hear your comments down below and what you guys think about all this stuff, and, you know, what your opinions are too. You know, do you think it's going to be like that, or do you think it's going to, you know, they might balance it so that if you do it solo, you know, it's not quite as difficult and you can just kind of fly through it just as quickly as a group of 4 can? Or, you know, how is it going to go? Because personally, I don't like to be forced into doing something. You know, the great thing about Diablo 3, and this is something I've said about the game for so long, is that everything that you want to do in the game, you can do in a group or you can do solo. You don't have to depend on other people to help you with doing these other things in the game. Even though I enjoy playing with my viewers and I enjoy playing, you know, with people that I've known for a long time now, it's really nice too to be able to do literally anything I want in the game by myself. And I hope this thing is not going to be an exception to that. I hope that, you know, this is going to reward players that do this solo, and instead of kind of forcing you to be in a group of 4 so that you can be the most efficient when it comes to this. So going to be very interesting to see how that goes. With everything said here today, I did want to talk about, you know, the future of Reaper of Souls. Obviously, this stuff is the future of Reaper of Souls. But a lot of people, I've been asking a lot of people if they've been, you know, happy with the game, and if they feel like, you know, with the ladders, is that going to be something that you can just do for a long time? The seasonal thing, is it going to be something you can just do for a long time, and you don't have to, you know, worry about getting bored in the game? Because at this current state of the game, literally the only thing to do is to farm gear and get Paragon levels. That's it. And some players don't like getting Paragon levels, and some people get bored of getting gear after a while, and especially with the current system of the game on how you get that gear. The smart loot system and the way that you can have a lot more build diversity is definitely a really good step in the right direction. But I feel like, you know, if you farm for an hour and you finally get a legendary and it's complete garbage, it can be really upsetting to some players out there. Some players, you know, they'll make them feel discouraged. They make them be like, you know what, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to log off, you know? And, you know, there has to be more reward in the game, you know, for players. And, you know, keep these players playing the game, to keep them enjoying the game, and all those kinds of things. So it's going to be interesting to see if the ladders, a seasonal thing, is going to be that push that really pushes Reaper of Souls from a great game to a great game. Because in my opinion, I mean, I have a really fun time playing this game. You know, because I'm a streamer, because I'm a YouTuber, I'm able to I think get more immersed into the game and learn more about it. If I wasn't a YouTuber or a streamer, then I may have a different opinion about the game. For the past month, I've been playing for about 12 hours a day, every single day, and I think I pushed myself a little too hard in that regard, because you know, I'm starting to get a little burnt out on the game, but I'm also optimistic and looking forward to the future of the game, and hopefully these things will be really good. So I think for the time being, until we see this stuff coming out, I'll probably slow down a little bit on playing Diablo 3. I'm not going to slow down on videos or anything like that. I haven't really played any other games in the past couple months, and I really haven't really done anything else but play Reaper of Souls. So it'll be nice to maybe venture into other things while we're waiting for this, you know, this whole Rift thing to come around and this whole ladder thing to come around, and hopefully that'll be the push that the game really needs. You know, like I've said for the longest time, I've always been a big supporter of Diablo 3. I've always felt the game had so much potential, and you know, it's just a matter of time before everything lines up and we get all the features that we want in the game, and then we finally have our complete game and, you know, feel like we're 100% satisfied, instead of always feeling like there's something missing, instead of always feeling like, you know, we're limited on what we can do in the game. We need that replayability. We need that way to play the game over and over and over again with never getting bored. I mean, if you could master, in Reaper of Souls, if you could get to the point where I just played for 3 hours and I found no legendaries and I found no upgrades, right? But I had a blast playing the game, and it felt like the 3 hours just flew by. If you can get to that point, then you have a top-notch game. You have a game that players, you know, right now, the only thing really holding players onto the game is finding those items. And even though they have been buffed and the loot system is better now, you know, you will go some time without finding good items. And it's definitely very possible. A lot of items you'll find will be garbage, and that's unfortunate, especially if you're going for a certain kind of build and, you know, you're trying to do the Witch Doctor build, and it takes you, you know, a couple weeks to find all the items, or even longer than that. I've talked to some players that have been having a really tough time on, you know, getting the characters the way that they want it to. In my opinion, I think the progression of a character should be fun, you know. You know, they say, like the old saying, like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But if the journey isn't fun, getting those items and you feel rewarded along the way, then once you get to the destination, it's just not going to feel as sweet as it could. Those are my opinions, guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this game. Hopefully you guys leave some comments below. Hit that like button. Also you can subscribe as well for more Diablo 3 videos. Those are all my opinions. Those are all my thoughts. Everything like that. I'm going to continue playing the game just like I always do, even though I'm going to slow down just a little bit. And I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.